Let's rock. Well, first of all, thank for taking the time and for sharing this moment with us. Before I get started, I would like to introduce you to the audience, especially to all the people who might be not so close to you and your music. Uh, First of all, well, Karl Sanders is the leader, vocalist, and guitarist of NILE, one of the most epic heavy metal bands, let me say death metal bands in this industry. So this band is known for their musical and lyrical imprint, which is inspired by Egyptology and works of Howard Phillips Lovecraft, an American writer of science, fantasy, and horror fiction, but also other Middle Eastern cultures. So if this isn't enough for you to go and take a look at their music, then I have to tell you, go do it right now, because they are about to release their new album called The Underworld Awaits Us All in 3 days from now. So go do some research and pre-order your copy of this new album right now. I would like to start from zero, and I would like to go back to the past for a few seconds. In fact, that's what I did before this interview. I've been doing a lot of research and listening to every single album of the band. I would like to know what was the starting point for you to start writing about ancient history, and especially about Egypt. How did you fall into this ancient kind of black hole?
Yeah, a black hole. That's awesome. Uh, there was a moment uh, after we'd already been a band called Nile for a couple months, back in 1993, where I kind of woke up one morning and I looked in the mirror and I asked myself, if I were a listener, what would I expect to hear from a metal band called Nile? Hmm. And it seemed to me that, well, okay, if we're going to write songs about ancient Egypt, then somebody, one of us, is going to have to like start doing some research, go to the library, read a few books, watch some documentaries, the History Channel and whatnot. And that person, well, that was me because no one else was going to do it. So, but the more that I was researching the ideas for the songs, the more fun it was. And the more I was learning and going, wow, some of the shit really is fucking cool. Okay, there's lots to work with here and write metal songs about. It was a lot of fun.
Great. And starting with your first record, I have to say that, first of all, the cover art is stunning. Also scary, but also has a powerful meaning. It's a piece of history, like the ancient battles between the pharaohs and the dwellers of the ancient Egypt and Sinai, slaves on their knees, heads off, the black pharaoh, like you also dare to swim into the seas of Sumerian language. Barra Edinatsu, it's one of the most precious jewels of all times, and followed by Kudurumaglu, this piece based on the Akkadian series of anti-witchcraft texts, one of the most exhilarating instrumentals that I've ever heard. Then we have pieces like Opening the Mouth and Eternal Oceans of Sand. Like these songs make me think that Nile has been put in a very wrong place for a long time. If you go to the media, just like I did, a lot of people say that you are a thrash metal band. And I don't know what's wrong with these people. Like the amount of elements that you've been putting into your songs are so astonishing and so diverse that yes, you are a more death metal band, but today you can't be classified like with just one label. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, all the different perspectives about your music, and do you think that this type of art, like talking about music, must be something purely objective, or is it something that you can judge or interpret guided by personal feelings?
Well, I think we're all guided by our personal feelings when we make judgments about music or we hear it. What we think and how we feel influences how we see everything around us, especially so when you look at a piece of art or when you listen to a piece of music. Each person experiences it a little bit different because of, the way they feel, the things that they understand in life, the things that they've seen. So, you know, I've heard a lot of crazy things said about our music that when I read them, I go, what are they talking about? Did they even listen to the record that we're talking about? Or what music are they talking about? Because we're not a thrash metal band.
Exactly. If you take a look at the first record, that is not thrash metal, like
No,
not even
no, no,
similar.
no. So, but you can't tell people they're wrong. I mean, because are any of us wrong? I mean, if I go to the Louvre and look at the Mona Lisa and I walk away going, that fucking bitch was smiling at me. Who the fuck does she think she is? Right? I'm not necessarily right. I'm not necessarily wrong. But if that was my experience, who's to say what's right and what's wrong?
Yes, I had to do that question because I think that beyond every single thought or belief, there's the soul of the artist. After all, it's your creation, it is your world, and your second album, Black Seeds of Vengeance, has proved that you are not afraid to experiment with different sounds, techniques, or elements. If you want to use choirs, you use the choirs. If you want to use the gong, you use the gong. If you want a song to sound like some kind of religious ritual, like defiling the gates of Ishtar, then the song will sound like this, no matter what. So what I'm trying to say is, every musician makes music in a very different way, with different goals, and you can feel it in the music, when every album sounds like the previous one and the previous one. The question will be, and this is maybe more like a personal question, but still a very nice one.
Okay.
Why do you make music?
I make music because I fucking love making music. And I love it so much that I'm driven to do it. For me, it's not a question of do I want to play music. I want to do it and I'm going to do it. And it would be very hard to stop me from playing music. It's what I want to do, it's what's in my heart. And I like sharing that with, whoever wants to listen to the music we're making. Awesome. Let's bang our heads.
But secondly, Annihilation of the Wicked, At the Gate of Setu, Ithifali, just to name a few. Every album is part of the band's legacy, but also they play a big role in your life, in your career. And I want to take this question as the light that will guide us to the final leg of this journey. I've been reading the lyrics from the album, and even though I would like to dive into every one of them, we can do that because, that means to be here for a long, long time. But I want to take the character of the first song, Eanatum, a powerful king. He established one of the first, if not the first, empire of the ancient world. Also, we can see a reference to the Vulture's Trail, a reminiscent of his power, some kind of legacy, let's say. Just like you and your music, I can relate this to you. How do you feel like looking back to the past, to your previous albums, and thinking about your evolution as a musician and also as a human being? And how does it feel to be in front of your own trail, your own legacy?
That's a great question. I try not to think about that, right? I find that if I think about that, it distracts me from my main purpose, which is play the fucking guitar, sing the fucking songs, stay in time with our fucking crazy drummer. So I try not to think about the past, right? I think about what the fuck I'm doing right the fuck now. And that keeps me focused. As a person who's 61 fucking years old, right? It seems like just yesterday I was 22, playing my guitar and cutting class in college to go play my guitar, right? That feels like yesterday to me. but it was 40 years ago, right? Life goes by in a fucking blink of an eye. All you really got is that moment right there in your hand right now. And you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Hopefully, you do enough smart stuff today that your tomorrow will be okay. But you're not promised tomorrow. You could walk out of your building, or I could walk out of my house, and a fucking car mows me down because he was busy texting while he was driving, right? We're not promised anything. All we got is the right now. So let's fucking bang our heads right now.
I can feel what you feel, because I'm 27 right now, but I've been very close to the death. I don't know, 3 times now. And it's crazy. And it sounds like you must live just right now because you don't know if you're going to live tomorrow. So that's good to hear from you.
I remember when we played in Tel Aviv, in Israel, and people were very conscious of this attitude. Like, we don't know what the fuck's going to happen tomorrow. Somebody might send some rockets across the fucking river. So today, we're going to fucking party. Let's make some metal today. And I was like, okay, this is a microcosm of the entire human experience, because none of us can say for sure what the fuck's going to happen 10 minutes from now. Like, lightning could strike my house, right, and come down through this microphone and shock me right in the middle of this fucking interview, and I would have never seen that shit coming. Hopefully that will not happen.
True. Now I'm afraid that for that to happen. You just put me to think about that. I want to bring one more thing to the table. The Lion of Lagash, Anzu, a powerful beast, personification of the southern wind and thunder clouds. I heard the new album yesterday, and you know what? Maybe you should change the title to Anzu at that point. It delivers so much power, wind, fire, and thunder, more than ever before. I would like to ask, how was the songwriting process for this album, and how do you pick the themes and topics that are going to be included?
The way the songs get picked is kind of random, right? If I come across an idea, or I might open a book, or I might watch a history channel, or see a documentary on YouTube, or, whatever. I know them when I see them, because it's like, oh, that's a fucking song. All right, let's work with that, right? And at that point, then once I have that like random inspiration, then it's time to work it, right? That's where songcraft comes into place. Like, so for me, it's the random universe at work, whatever the universe puts in front of me. Okay, that must be the song, right? I kind of am superstitious that way, like the metal gods, right? The metal gods give you the ideas for the songs, but it's up to us to do something with them, right? How many ideas do we get in a fucking single day that we just don't do anything with? Probably a lot, right?
Cool. And
Boy, yeah.
As you can see, before we move to the next question, like yesterday when I received the email from the label and they told me that I was going to have this interview with you, I was like, well, in the first place, I had a panic attack immediately. Secondly, I had to do my research, and I don't know, I feel like very amused by the lyrical content of this album. Like, it took me 12 hours to make this interview, to write this interview, literally just 12 hours.
Well,
And
congratulations, my friend. That makes you kick ass because not everyone does their fucking homework. And it really shows. Like, the questions that we've done so far are super thoughtful. And I'm like, yeah, this is fresh. We're talking about real things here, So, dude, hats off. Fuck yeah.
last night I filled my eyes with the breathtaking spells of the Egyptian Book of the Dead. In fact, I downloaded the book to my computer and started reading it because I saw that there is one song which is based on this book, and which is one of the most amazing and unexpected topics that I've ever seen. And I would like to be as good as you in this kind of themes, but I guess that you can explain it a little bit better than me. What did you find into this ancient book that made you feel so inspired to quote it in this album?
Well, there's a lot of quotable stuff in the Book of the Dead. It's
Exactly.
almost as if somebody 4,000 years ago, was writing metal songs. And I'm just going, well, this looks like a song. And this looks like a song. It all looks like metal songs to me. So I don't necessarily think I'm necessarily writing any of it. I'm just going, that's a pretty cool metal song. That's a pretty cool metal song. Okay, here we go.
Okay, because I don't know, in my head, I couldn't believe what I was reading. In fact, I talked to one of my friends and I said, dude, it's like 12 a.m. right now in the night, and I'm reading an Egyptian Book of the Dead, and I don't know what the hell am I doing right now. I don't know how this is going to be or how this will turn to be, but I don't know. I feel this need to feel what he feels like talking about you, especially.
Well, it shows you're super prepared and this is super fun. So fuck yeah, dude.
Um, it's been 30 years now from your first demo, your first 5 songs, 30 years of existence, 30 years of making art, 30 years of facing challenges, 30 successful years at the end of the day, which means 30 is a lucky number this year. So my question would be, do you have something special planned for this beautiful anniversary?
Well, I think it would be a good idea. We should do it. I've just been so motherfucking busy with everything to do with this record. I haven't had time to plan the motherfucking party. Dude, like, I haven't had time. I got like all this tequila downstairs, right? 'Cause my brother-in-law, he like buys me a bottle of tequila every motherfucking month, right? So I've got a stack of tequila for a fucking party and his 30-year anniversary of NILE. So maybe when this tour is done and we can finally go, okay, then yeah, it's time for a motherfucking party.
Cool. That's good to know. Um, the next question is more personal, but I guess that I need to know what you think about this. What makes you feel more proud in this life, in your career, in your daily life? Would you say that you feel proud of these 30 years? Is there something left to try for you? Do you have any special goal as a musician or as a songwriter?
I don't think so. I think like it's music is something I'm just driven to. I'm compelled. It's inside me, right? So for me, the goal is like to listen to music, to learn new music, learn new things, play new things, uh, play with the other members of the band. I love playing music with George Colias, the incredible drummer.
Mhm.
Uh, the new guys, Zach and Dan, incredible musicians. It makes me happy to go to the rehearsal room and fucking get in there and just make some metal, get sweaty and hot and dirty and nasty, and make metal the way it was meant to be. That's what I fucking love doing. So that's my fucking goal, is to do that, right? And I think that's an achievable goal that's pretty reasonable. Let's make some metal.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you something kind of religious, I think. As you can see, this will be the only religious kind of question that we will bring to the table. I've seen that you have some tour dates for this upcoming record, but do you have any plans for South America? Because we are very hungry to see and to hear this album live.
Well, we're booked so far like 6 months into the future already. It is a certainty that you cannot have an album tour cycle and not go to South America. That's fucking crazy. The best fucking place to play metal on planet Earth is for South American metal fans. It's one of the best experiences of my entire life, or all the South American metal shows. So you can go to sleep at night knowing that although it's not on the tour dates yet, it fucking will be. We are going to come to South America on this tour cycle, without a doubt. It would not be an album cycle without a South American leg. So it will happen. I promise. You can bank on it.
My final question for you is if you have any final words for your fans.
The underworld awaits us all, and we'll fucking see you there.
I would see you there, of course. But before you go, I need to know what's your favorite song from this album right now.
Right now,
you have to pick just one.
Stele of Vultures, because I've been playing it every day, getting it ready for, tour. So I've been playing the dog shit out of it like all day long, right? So right now it's on my brain. That song, wow, what a fucking song. What a performance from George Colias. The guitar riffing, the vocals. It's a motherfucking killer song, and I defy anyone to listen to it and try to say that is not metal as fuck. It's metal as fuck.
It is, right. And just last night I took the album and I gave it a few shots because, I mean, it's not easy to digest with just one take. And in the first place, I was about to pick track number 2, which I can't pronounce right now because it's very long. It's very hard to say. So I had to move to another track, which is my favorite one now. And it's Under the Cars of the One God.
That comes out as a lyric video today,
exactly.
Like just a little while ago it came out.
Yeah, the label sent it to me as a single, so I was very happy that this song turned out to be a single because it is my favorite. Like the final minutes or maybe the final seconds of this song are just, what the hell is happening here? That tribal sounds, I don't know, it kept me very, I don't know, captivated and like spellbounded. I don't know how to say it, but it's very cool. So I hope this song to be played in South America. You can't take it out of the set list. I will be very mad if this doesn't happen. So
okay.
That's it for today. I want to say thank you for being here, for taking the time to talk with me. And I don't know.
Dude, thank you for taking the time to be so motherfucking prepared. Dude, that makes such an incredible difference. I can't tell you what a joy it is to talk to people who actually fucking listen to the record. Dude, fuck yeah, you rule.
Yeah, and for me, it was not just like listening to the record, but also like trying to dive into the lyrics and trying to find the inspiration behind every one of them. Just like I said before, like the Egyptian Book of the Dead, like it was very late last night and I was reading it and like I never do this. This is very unexpected for me, but I enjoyed it so much. And of course, I'll keep reading this book because it's very long, but it's something very, very cool to digest and to incorporate into your mind and into your daily life. It has a lot of philosophy into it. So
There is a surprising amount of philosophy in there. Yes.
exactly. But thank you for another successful album. I fell in love with it, and we'll be waiting for you in South America.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you for everything. Let's see you next time. Hope to meet you in the future.